you later said that you were for a constitutional amendment, and the constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage would have the effect of overturning state law.
Well, in my home state, I was the chief author of a constitutional amendment to define marriage as between a man and a woman. That's consistently been my position, and I do support that position.
I know you're opposed to same-sex marriage. As president, would you try to overturn, what influence would you use from the White House to try to overturn these state laws, despite your own personal belief that states should handle their own affairs whenever possible and in many circumstances?
Well, I do believe in the 10th Amendment, and I do believe in self-determination for the states. I also believe that marriage is between a man and a woman.
Mr. Carter, thank you for making me a Republican. Because of your incompetence in handling the Iranians with stagflation, and you're cozying up with every dictator, thug, and Islamic terrorist there is. But more importantly, I find it to be vile because your black is heart. It's heart because you're an anti-Semite. And let me explain why I think you're a bigot, a racist, and an anti-Semite. No holds
I think,
barred.
caller, that the name calling is fine, is enough.
In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
You're asking a hypothetical question, and I found out that I never get in trouble if I don't answer one of those. So, never, Sam?
Mr. President, in talking about the continuing recession tonight, you have blamed mistakes of the past, and you have blamed the Congress. Does any of the blame belong to you?
Yes, because for many years I was a Democrat.
Equally important and not too often overlooked, Martin Luther King Jr. encouraged all peoples to live up to their purpose and potential. Vanity asks the question, is a position politic? Vanity asks the question, is a position popular? But there's something called freedom ringing from all over America and throughout the world.
Very honored to be back in San Francisco. We're here for a great convention. We had a great convention. San Diego. Or San Diego, sure.
So when asked, will I preserve and protect a woman's right to choose, I make an unequivocal answer. Yes.
No, I'm saying I changed my mind, and you can look at my record as governor, and you can see in my record as governor that I have consistently been pro-life.
I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country. I have since the time that my mom took that position when she ran in 1970 as a U.S. Senate candidate. I believe that since Roe v. Wade has been the law for 20 years, that we should sustain and support it. And I sustain and support that law.
I will be a pro-life president. I'll appoint. So when I ran for office, I was effectively pro-choice. I didn't call myself pro-choice, but I said just like I've been a pro-life governor.
I believe, based on what I read, that the world is getting warmer. And number two, I believe that humans contribute to that.
So the idea of America spending massive amounts, trillions of dollars to somehow stop global warming is not a great idea.
And so I think it's important for us to reduce our emissions of pollutants and greenhouse gases that may well be significant contributors to the climate change and the global warming that you're seeing.
You're only allowed a certain number of flips before people begin to doubt your character. And I think Romney exhausted his quota some time back.
At the time, by the way, I crafted the plan. In the last campaign, I was asked, is this something that you would have the whole nation do? And I said, no. This is something that was crafted for Massachusetts. It would be wrong to adopt this as a nation. Able to put in place a plan that helped get health insurance premiums down and gets all of our citizens insured. If we can do that nationally, we help not only Michigan and the auto industry, but the entire nation.
And so, in my State of the Union, or my speech to the nation, whatever you want to call it, speech to the nation. I know that human being and fish can coexist peacefully. And America needs a military where our best and brightest are proud to serve and proud to stay. If you're a single mother with 2 children, which is the toughest job in America as far as I'm concerned, and you're working hard to put food on your family, rarely is the question asked, is our children learning? Too many good docs are getting out of business. Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country. See, I don't think you can be. There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Not only are we going to New Hampshire, Tom Harkin, we're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. We're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
Because, you know, it is just wonderful to be back in Oregon, and over the last 15 months we've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states, I think 1 left to go.